This is Richie Ramone. All right.
No dia 26 de abril de 2018, o ex-baterista da banda de punk rock norte-americana Ramones, Richie Ramone, esteve em Londrina para um show no Bar Valentino, e nós do Portal Du fomos até o hotel em que o artista esteve hospedado para uma entrevista. O mercado musical mudou muito dos anos 80 para cá. Quais mudanças você percebeu?
Everything's changed. I mean, come on, everything's changed. But the music has changed in that, like, rock and roll is not as popular as hip hop and pop music and all that kind of stuff, you know. I don't think people go out to see live music as much as they used to. They like to go to the DJ and dance a lot, you know, so I think that's changed a lot. But, you know, as far as what we do and stuff really hasn't changed much. We travel around, go to a club, perform, and go to the next city.
Muitos músicos gravaram ou tocaram suas músicas, como os brasileiros da banda Ratos de Porão e Sepultura, que tocaram I'm Not Jesus. O que você pensa dessas homenagens? Entre eles, há algum que se destaca?
No, this Sepultura, that was a good cover, you know, and I think that's the biggest honor to have someone take your music and, you know, cover it and make it their own, you know. But my favorite thing is, like, walking down the street and hearing your song come out of the car radio, you know, from somebody driving, you know, that's really kind of fun. So.
Quem foi sua inspiração antes e agora na carreira solo?
Joey Ramone was an inspiration, and so was Dee Dee. In fact, I really wasn't that much of a songwriter until I met Joey Ramone in 1983. He's the one who said, oh, you should write and you should do this and that. Before I used to fiddle around, but he pushed me to actually really write, you know. So he was my inspiration. I mean, I heard a lot of bands that inspired me and things like that as a kid, but as far as songwriting, it was Joey.
Nós sofremos aqui no Brasil uma grande crise social e política. Como você acha que os movimentos musicais ou a própria música podem ajudar a mudar a situação, considerando que você começou em uma banda de punk rock?
I think music's a good way for civil unrest and all that kind of stuff, you know. I think that's a way to get the message out, you know. I mean, there are a lot of bands who write political songs, like, you know, any way that we can get the message out, you know, to help it. Is it still crazy over here, as it was?
Yes.
The explosions and everything?
Pesquisando mais sobre a sua carreira, encontramos uma foto sua com Taylor Hawkins, do Foo Fighters. Vocês têm alguma relação?
No, I met him somewhere. We were in the same room. That's why that picture was taken, you know. Like, oh, we'll take a picture of both of you. I don't know. We were at a movie premiere in Los Angeles or something like that where they got that photo from, but I don't really know them at all. No. I know they're fans. I know Dave Grohl's a big fan of the Ramones. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. You know, he comes from that time.
Como você escreve suas músicas?
Generally, I start with an idea or, you know, a title. You know, you have to have something to talk about, you know. The music is the one thing, but you have to have a message like we talked about. So when I find something funny or something that touched me personally and I say, oh, I gotta write that song, and that's what I start with that.
Considerando que você já veio ao nosso país algumas vezes, conta pra gente, o que mais te agrada aqui?
Well, we love it down here because we get treated so well down here, you know. There's no other place in the world that we have the energy of the fans that are down here, you know. You know, in South America, it's always been great. Brazil and Argentina being in the lead over there. You know, and I just think, you know, I love coming here. Besides that, I think the people are great. I think the food's great. I love eating all that steak, and your wine is very good. So we always have a good time, you know. I mean, everybody treats us nicely here. So it's always fun to come here. We come here like every year.
Uma vez, Mick Jagger disse que aqui no Brasil o público assiste aos shows pela tela do celular. Considerando que a primeira vez que você esteve aqui foi em 1987, em uma turnê com os Ramones. Quais as mudanças você percebeu no nosso público?
They all have the cell phone. That's new. They didn't have that in 1987, right? But I think the crowds and, you know, people come out here, they come out to have a good time, you know. They're not like this watching the show. They're all into it and happy, you know. That's what I like about the fans. But some bands complain, you know, with the holding the camera, they look through the thing the whole show, which is kind of silly, right? But I guess they just want to get a recording, you know, of that night. But take a little bit and put it down and look around and take in the whole show, everything that's going on. You can only see a little bit looking through the phone, right? Mm-hmm. So I think they're missing out by using that. I think they're missing the experience by just looking through the iPhone, the whole show. That's, to me, that's silly.
Quais as suas lembranças dessa turnê?
Yeah, I remember that because it was so crazy. We came down here, we were like the Beatles. As soon as we landed, there was people in the airport. They were following us around all the time. We had to have a lot of security and, like, you know, it was really intense. Never saw that before in any other place in the world. Because it is like a religion down here. I don't know why. You know, it's just, you guys love the Ramones. You made us one of our own, so it's nice. So why wouldn't I like it here? Why would I want to come back every year? You'd be silly not to.
Por que Londrina?
Why Londrina? Well, the first thing off is the promoter lives here, so that's one thing why we come here. Number two, I like going to the places that not every band comes to. Every band comes down here, they're gonna go to, you know, Sao Paulo, or then they're gonna go to Buenos Aires, they're gonna do the big city. We play a lot of the smaller places because I think they really enjoy that, and they don't get as many bands coming through this town, you know, so I think that it works out well for everybody. They're all happy that we came to the smaller city, and I'm happy because they're happy, see? Gotta be happy.
Você segue ou ouve algum artista da América Latina?
I don't really follow anybody, but what's interesting is seeing all the bands that open up for me. That's when I learn about some of the bands. But Sepultura, you know, everybody knows them for years and years. And, but you do get, you know, you do get a lot of good bands down here because there's a lot of heart and feeling, and that's what makes a good musician. The people have that soul here, and that's really important to write good music and have a good band, you know. So, I mean, Attack 77, they're more Argentina, they're not Brazilian. So I know a few different bands, but I like the local Brazilian music, you know. I think the country's music is fun too to listen to, because I listen to everything, you know. And for dancing.
Perguntamos ao Richie se ele gostaria de ouvir o funk carioca, que é bem diferente do funk estadunidense, que misturava o soul, jazz e o R&B. Ele topou e essa foi a reação.
It's like this beat.
Yeah.
And they call that funk, Brazilian funk?
Yeah, this is like the funk beat. It has a little bit of hip hop, but it's like, this is funk, Brazilian funk. It's not like psychedelic funk from the 80s.
Right.
It's like...
Cool. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to look that up.
Você tem uma mensagem para os músicos e artistas brasileiros que trazem as questões políticas à tona em suas obras?
Yeah, I mean, they should bring it up. I don't really write political songs, and we have a lot of mess in the United States with Trump right now. But you know, you got to hang in there, and you have to, you know, you have to believe in yourself and believe what's right. Do what you think is right, you know. Don't get arrested or nothing, but, you know, I mean, here, there's a lot of places. It's just a bad time out there right now for everybody, you know. A lot of unrest going on, so I hope things could get better. I just don't know how. I don't think, you know, me making a song about it is going to make a difference.
Quais os próximos passos na sua carreira?
Next steps is that we're recording again. You know, I have a new single that just came out about my father. He died like 6 weeks ago, so I had to go through that whole thing.
Oh my God.
And then, so we put the single out, and now we're recording another album to come out next year. So I think it's a lot of the same thing. We make music, tour, eat, and I like to play golf too, so I sneak that in there. But it's kind of the same thing, keeps going and going. And I'm having fun at it, so as long as it's good and I'm healthy, I'm going to stay around.